currently live in Grand Cayman, Cayman Islands. We've been here for about a year and a half. My current job is a registered behavior technician. I work with children with autism. I work in the field of applied behavior analysis. We use the science of ABA to teach children coping mechanisms and alternative, appropriate, healthy behaviors, and decrease inappropriate, unsafe behaviors. So this can include anything from language to social skills, life skills. So it's a very rewarding job. All right, so I was a camper for 2 years when I was 7 and 8 years old. So that would be 2005, 2006, I believe. And then I came back as a CIT in 2012, I believe, if I'm doing the math correctly. So I was a CIT that year, and then I was a staff member for 2013 and 2014, both as a counselor. This one was tough, but I think the best word that describes my time is welcoming. As soon as you come down the long laneway, you immediately feel at home. You're welcomed with open arms by every single person that you work with. When you're a camper, you feel welcomed by your counselors. And every single part of camp just really feels like home. I actually have two. I have a favorite upbeat, fast one. I have a favorite slow one. So my favorite upbeat one would definitely be Little Red Wagon. I would always sing that one at the beginning of the week, and my voice would be gone for the rest of the week, but totally worth it. And then my favorite slow song would definitely be the End of Campfire song from The Rising of the Sun. It just always really made me feel really warm inside. And once again, it made that whole camp experience feel just so welcoming and at home. So I actually grew up about 5 minutes away from Pearce Williams. So I grew up in a really small town, and I was there from a child until I graduated high school. After high school, I moved away to St. Catharines, Ontario. I went to Brock University and I studied child health for 4 years. I graduated in 2019. Right after I graduated, my boyfriend got offered a job in Grand Cayman, and we decided now's the time to go. So we packed our bags, and in September of 2019, we moved here. At first, I wasn't able to get a job in my field, so I took a job as a server. But strangely enough, I was on the beach one day, and I met Owen, who we just got chatting, and she got me my job that I have now. So Grand Cayman is a very small island, and everyone knows everyone, and it almost makes me feel like I'm at home. It has that small town feel. So the job I have now, I'm very thankful, and it's one of those 1 in a million chances, but it's exactly where I want to be right now. My favorite memory was of my birthday one year. Because my birthday, I was always at camp for my birthday, and I was a counselor. It was primary week. The theme was Expect the Unexpected. And so at lunch every day, we spun a wheel, and it was always some sort of prank or joke that they would play on a counselor. And so it's, of course, spun to me on my birthday, and the joke was to get Jello dumped on my head. So that happened right before the camp-wide game. But that was it was definitely one of my favorite memories. The best thing that I learned at camp, and I learned this as a CIT and as I was on staff as well, it's always okay to ask for help. And I especially use that now and building my career. I'm very fortunate to have amazing mentors and supervisors at my job now. But I definitely wouldn't be where I am if I wasn't afraid to ask for help. And I most definitely learned that at camp. Once again, everyone is always willing to help you. They want to see you thrive and grow. And so that's something that I always teach my clients as well. That it's never a bad thing to ask for help. It's always okay. I had to think about this one for a bit, but the best advice I received was from my grandma, who unfortunately passed away last year. But she always had a saying that she would always say, do the best you can with what you have. And I think, especially within the last year, with the pandemic, as I'm sure everyone has experienced, it's been really tough. I feel very fortunate to be here on a little island. They handled the pandemic here so well, and we are fortunate. We don't have to wear masks anymore. We don't have to social distance, but I'm still feeling very far away from home. And I know that's not possible, but keeping that advice in mind, I keep it with me through my social life, through work, through school, everything. I'm actually not much of an avid reader. I never have been. Especially through school, it was a struggle for me to pick up a book. Right now, I'm still, again, building my career. I read the odd book about behaviorism and child development. But quite honestly, I'm not much of a social reader. I do enjoy podcasts. I enjoy like TED Talks. I know that sounds pretty cliche, but they just bring so much inspiration but really I would love some recommendations for me. The first one would definitely be my mom. She's the reason I went to camp. She's the reason I worked at camp. She used to go to camp and she was a staff member herself. So I would love to see her answer these questions, as well as Twinkle. She was the very first counselor I was paired with as a CIT. And I'm sure if you ask her, we had quite the week together. So I would love to hear both of their answers to these questions. I'm sure this has been said in all of the other interviews, but camp made me the person that I am. It was my very, very first job. And I have so many memories. I learned so much. I grew so much. I learned leadership and all the skills that I use in my everyday life. I can confidently say I learned from camp. And as I mentioned before, it is the most peaceful, extraordinary place that I've ever been. And I just think it's so important to support Pearce Williams so that everyone gets a chance to experience what I got to experience. Yeah!
Very much.